And so it begins. What's up, YouTube? It's Joe here, and I'm bringing you something special today. For the next, I feel like 2 weeks, but what is it, about 6 to 8 weeks that I do before the mid-season finale. Anyways, I will be bringing you a discussion each Monday about my opinions and the similarities between the comics. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. It's quite interesting this week because there's a lot different than the comics and then the show. It's not really what I expected to happen, honestly. So, where to start? Where to start? That's a good question. But I have a notebook that I took notes in. Okay, I can start here. Looks like Maggie's finally getting to take over the hilltop, and it's about dang time. Can't stand Gregory. Just, and even though I put a warning out front of the video, I'll go ahead and say, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. About the comics, about the show, about everything. So, if you're still here, cool. If not, I understand. It was an interesting show, or episode. A bit disappointing, to be honest, but interesting nonetheless. But let's start with Gregory. That, how do I put this nicely? Piece of crap. I guess that's the nicest way to put it. No backbone, coward, slimeball, piece of crap. And it sums him up pretty decently. I mean, come on. Father Gabriel was on his way out, and he decides to go back for him, and the dude just, hey, car, I'm leaving. Man, I was so hoping they would shoot him. I was shoot him the entire time. But of course, you can't always get what you want. And it's unfortunate. I mean, he's just, and even in the comics, he was just a spineless piece of crap. In the show, he's even worse, which I didn't think was possible. I mean, really. But he'll get his. Hopefully, Father Gabriel will survive this and get to go kill himself. Speaking of which, I really liked his character development. You know, first couple of seasons he was on, and even in the comics, I didn't really like him all that much. But especially the first couple of seasons, he was a really sucky person. Just a sucky character altogether. But I really like the way he's evolved, I guess. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. He's really changed. I'm starting to actually think he's a decent character. Let's see. Oh, that's a good one. I'm questioning, will Rick actually kill Negan? If you read the comics, then you know that they actually put Negan in jail. And I assume that that's what they still do in the show. I mean, that was a big part of the comics. You know, that was Rick's way of saying, this is how we get back to the civilization we used to know. So, I can't imagine that he'll go ahead and kill Negan, but then again, who knows? I mean, the show and the comics are nothing alike now. I mean, there's some similarities, a few. Now, if you watch the show and read the comics, then you know what I'm talking about. But personally, I don't want him to kill Negan. It might not be a popular opinion, but I love Negan. I also hate Negan, but this is weird. I love to hate him. Or is it hate to love him? I'm not quite sure which one, but he is one of my favorite characters. And I kind of like, I wouldn't exactly call it redemption, but I like the way he is in the newer comics. Although I actually ain't read the comics since Andrea's death. which, oh my gosh, I bawled. I really did. I cried. I cried. I'm not proud. I'll admit it. Tears just rolling down like I was slobbering like a baby. Slobbering. I don't think that's the right word. Yeah. But so I don't know what happened after that. Hopefully Negan's still around. I don't know. Yeah, I was really shocked. See, going into the 7th season, I knew they were introducing Negan at the end of the 6th season. Going into the 7th one, I figured they would stretch out the war. Like, I figured most of everything that happened last season, which did happen, would happen, but then I thought it'd be more to it, and then actually in the middle of this, or yeah, the end of the mid-season finale, before they start the next mid-season. I flipping hate the mid-season finale thing. But anyways, before they start the next part in, I think, February, somewhere around there, I figured that's when the war would actually start. So they're about half a season ahead of what I thought they would be, which is surprising to me. I don't know. I don't know. It just seemed like there was a lot more to the arc in the comics than they put into the show so far. But maybe the show's just wrapping up. I don't know. It seems really unlikely considering how much more there is to it with the comics. But maybe they won't even include the Whisperers, or I don't know if that's what they call themselves or not, but they might not even include them. I'm not sure. I hope they do. Really interesting. Which the people, I thought it was interesting, the people in the junkyard, who, as far as I'm aware, is just came out of nowhere. Like, they're not in the comics at all. They're completely new characters for the show. So, which is weird, but which they might turn out to be the Whispers. I don't know. I mean, the leader and the way they act, it kind of reminds me of them quite a bit. So it's a possibility. Oh yeah, I just like the way that they pass notes. Dwight and oh my, Daryl. Oh man, I'm about pissed off a bunch of people. But I like the way that they pass notes to each other. Just sit crossbow bolts back and forth from each other to each other. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know about that. I wrote down that I'm glad Carol is back, but I don't know if she is actually back. I mean, if you read the comics, you know she kind of went batcrap crazy and, well, basically hugged a zombie. And, well, anyways, it was, yeah. And then during last season, I think it was, she kind of started going crazy. And she still seemed pretty off in this episode. So I don't know if she's back or not. Personally, I hope she is. I like Carol. But knowing how the comics did her, I'm not sure what's going to happen to her. And I find it pretty interesting because I always considered Carol more of the Michonne of the show, while Michonne turned out to be the Andrea. And if you watch the comics, you kind of know what. Watch the comics, read the comics, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Oh, that's a good point. I'm talking in my book. That's not crazy. There's a lot of, which it might be confirmed, I don't know. I try my best not to see behind the scenes, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but I know there's a lot of talk that Chandler Riggs, the dude who played Carl, he is apparently supposed to get in a college that he's been applying for or wants to go to. So there's a lot of talk that that Carl might be killed in the show, or stuff will happen. And what you heard Carl speak to Rick in the future part, which I'll get to that. Anyways, I'll get to that. But you heard him speak to Rick, but they didn't show him, which is interesting because it looks like they might have aged up. The time passed more than 2 years. I believe it was 2 years. I'm not 100% positive, but I believe it was. And if they do, then that means that gives them an opportunity to, instead of killing Carl, which, let's be real, that wasn't gonna happen. I mean, really, it wasn't gonna happen. The outrage. Oh my, the outrage. Anyways, instead of killing off Carl, they can age him up, 3-4 years. And instead of actually aging him up like they did with Rick, they can just completely replace him with somebody, which I don't know. I think I'd rather him just die than be replaced, but or him just stay on the show. That's the best choice, but I can understand wanting to get a education. You can't always act for the rest of your life, and most child actors end up after their shows and not having any career. So it's smart on his part. I don't blame him. And it's smart, smart decision. But still, it's interesting to see that they might replace him with an older character. Like they showed Judith. She was much older. How old Judith is in the show? She gotta be pushing around like what, 2-ish? I don't know. I'm not around many kids. I don't like King Ezekiel. I liked him in the comics quite a bit, but the show, I don't know. I don't know. He's weird. Like, no, I don't know if it's arrogant or just obnoxious. I think that's the best word to put. I would not be able to stay in the same room as him. They're going to. Oh, yeah. I was shocked that, like I said, I thought the war was going to be longer than what it was, or going to take longer. The pacing of it is a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So I was actually shocked that they managed to get the walkers to the Savior's hideout. I don't know what they call it. The factory, maybe? I'm not sure. That's something I look up. But I'm shocked that they got the walkers there this quickly. And, honestly, I feared this whole scene that we saw in this episode, like the entire them going to the Saviors and getting the walkers and all that, I feared that'd be probably about episode 3 or so. But episode 1, yay. Like I said, this was not a great episode to me. But it's very interesting seeing that Father Gabriel was the one that stayed back instead of Hannah? Is that her name? I want to say it was. I'm not sure. But, if you read the comics, that a woman drove a car through the fence so the walkers could get through, and then she got captured by them. And actually, one of the most admirable things I've ever seen Negan do was he caught one of his men about to try to rape her, and he straight up killed him right then and there. And that was awesome to me, because I always think if something like this happens, you do what you have to do to survive, and that's mainly what Negan has done. He's done more than he had to, but 80% of what he's done he had to do to survive. But you do it until the point you lose your humanity, because once you lose your humanity, there's no point in surviving. You're not any better than the walkers or whatever caused the apocalypse. So that's something admirable I thought about Negan. And it's interesting, I guess they won't really have that scene because it's Father Gabriel. Unless one of the dudes want to rape Father Gabriel, then that's a possibility. I don't know. But it's something I wish they would have kept in the show, and I hope they do, just to show that even though Negan's a dick, he's not a monster. See, the governor, he was a monster, which they toned him down quite a bit in the show than the comics. I'll tell you, go back and read that. It will make you hate that dude more than anybody. Oh yeah, well, I wrote that down. I wrote down that they kept showing Rick's cane that he used in the future, because during the fight with Negan, he ends up breaking Rick's leg, but they end up showing a bunch of scenes in the future, so there's really no point mentioning much about that. The showdown, Rick! Got like 6 exclamation marks. Oh yeah, I wanted to point out that Carl should never go by himself. If you're in a zombie apocalypse, group. At least 2 people. Always stay together. As simple as that. You run into somebody, 2 people are better than 1. You run into a couple walkers. I mean, you don't know. You could trip. You could break your leg. Which, luckily, Rick was there. Which, I don't know about that. I don't really know. I want to say, like, Indian or Arabian. I didn't see him much. I was writing on the book, so I didn't really get to see him except for when he was in the bush. But so I don't know about that dude. I hope that dude turns out to be a good guy, but I can understand why Rick, he came and shot over a dude to scare him off. Don't trust people. In that situation, don't trust people. Honestly, I probably would just shot the dude. I wouldn't have took my chances. Especially knowing that they have this war going on with the Saviors. No way I would trust them. Trust no one. Get that? Yeah, I touched on the fact that I'm starting to like Gabriel. Yeah, I wanted to point out that I think it's kind of odd that Rick and Michonne are together. Not, because they're black and white. That's no problem to me. Some people have a problem with it. Actually, I have a friend that has a problem with it because of that, but it's whatever. It's just weird seeing how they are in the comics compared to the show. They're they're sort of like brother and sister in the comics. Kind of. I mean, maybe just best friends is a better way to put it. But then to see them get together as a relationship in the show, it's odd. It's just odd. It's just like if Carol and Daryl got together, which I know like almost everybody in the show, or everybody fans of the show, want that to happen, but I just don't see it. Like I said, I sort of see Carol as Daryl's older sister. I mean, that's the relationship I get from them, not a sexual one. I mean, that just seems very odd to me. Don't tell my mom I said that. She might get pissed. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, point out the fact that Michonne is the new Andrew, while Carol is the new Michonne. Just want to point out the fact that I hate Rosita. Gosh, I hate Rosita. She's just... I'd be glad when she dies. I didn't like her in the comics. I felt sorry for Eugene in the comics, but I was 80% happy that she died. Honestly, I didn't like her. And speaking of Eugene, it's really interesting to see the way they've done this. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, this was quite a while ago, so I don't remember everything about this part of the comics. But wasn't Eugene, he made bullets and stuff to help with the war against the Saviors, if I'm not mistaken. But now, which they got their weapons and ammo stuff from the Fish Village people, which once again was something that the show added that wasn't part of the comics. But it's interesting because now Eugene is with the Saviors. And what I want to know is, I don't think he's truly with the Saviors. I don't think he's like, he's like a head honcho there, but I think he's just there because was the smart play. I mean, truthfully, if Negan kidnapped you and he gave you a choice of either you can have your own place and be a big shot here and do what I want, or you can do what I want no matter what. It's smart to choose that. And I can understand, they came and they could have rescued him. I also understand why he didn't. I mean, it just wasn't the smart play, and that's what Eugene's about. He's about doing the smart thing at the time. That's why he lied to Rosita and not Eugene. Oh my goodness. Abraham. Oh man, I'm having trouble tonight. But that's why he lied to them and told them that he was a scientist and could cure all this and blah 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 blah. You know, it's the smart thing to do. He couldn't survive on his own, so he got somebody who could help him survive, and that's just what he's doing now. I don't necessarily like him for it, but I don't hate him for it. I know a lot of people do, but I think it might have been another group, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's another thing. Anyways, I'm pretty sure then the Saviors show up in the comics after this and grenade the crap out of Alexandria. I think it was them. They threw a bunch of grenades and blew up. I think Heath actually lost his leg because of it, which is interesting since they ain't shown Heath since him and Tara, I think that's her name. I'm not a really big fan of her either, but so I don't pay much attention to people I don't like. But I think him and Tara went out and they ain't shown him since then. That was the episode she found the fish people. But I'm pretty sure he got hit with a grenade pretty bad and like lost a leg. I don't know if he lived or not. I think he did. But I'm wondering if that's gonna happen. That's gonna be a rough episode to watch. There was a lot. Actually, it's gonna be an expensive episode to shoot, so I don't know if they'll do it or not. I like the wall cars. That was pretty awesome. Just having the walls like what's the word? Torched. Well, I cannot think of the word. It'll come to me later, and then I'll be disappointed in myself. But whatever, it was attached. No, it's not. Anyways, it was interesting to see the wall pieces and stuff attached to the cars, and they could use them as cover, and that way they couldn't see exactly how many people was there, and they could use it to help defend themselves. That was really, really interesting. Actually, I thought that was really smart. And then, oh my god, when they used the RV to go through the fence and blow it up, that was so awesome. That was probably my favorite part. And I'm wondering, that's not the same RV that they've had since like season 1, is it? I think they've got a new one since then. Surely, I mean, the cars don't last that long in a zombie apocalypse. But it's something I'll have to go back and research and watch. Because it'd be really interesting to know if it was. Imagine having that car with them since the beginning, and then they blow it up now. That actually would say a lot about the show and where it's going. Oh yeah. I'll touch on that at the last part. The RV. Oh yeah. I'm not quite sure why Rick took a picture of Negan. I don't know what was the point of that. Maybe just to laugh at him. I don't know. I simply don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what that happened, or what the significance of that was and why they did it. Alright, well, get about the end of my notes, so I guess I'll go ahead and touch on it. I absolutely hated the fact that they kept showing the future. I couldn't stand it. I thought that was a very, very idiotic thing for them to do, you know. I can remember the excitement of them ending the war with Negan, then the next chapter, 2 years in the future. And you're just like, what? What happened? What happened between those 2 years? But there's no surprise to it. I mean, you have people like my mom and dad who ain't read the comics but are huge fans of the show. They didn't know that big gap was coming. And I try my best not to tell them anything, that way they don't get spoiled and stuff, you know. But, so, I hate that, and then it showed the fact that Michonne and Rick are still alive, and Carl stayed alive, and Judith, which, I mean, they ain't gonna kill a baby on the show, you know that. They probably won't let them in the network. But so it showed a bunch of people who are alive and what's going on. If you read the comics, you know about the festival and all that junk that happens. But it's just, I don't know. From a TV, like, from their point of view, I think it was a very bad decision. I don't see why they did it. It just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed crappy, I guess is just the best way to put it. But I reckon that's all my opinions, all my notes and everything I have for this episode. I would like to apologize for the lack of videos this past weekend. I know I didn't have one up today, which is Sunday, but I think I missed one Friday. I'm going through gonna change my setup and everything a lot, and doing a lot of prep work and just trying to get it all ready, so videos will be a little touch and go for next week. But I hope you went and enjoyed this one, and I hope you stick around and check out my next videos, because when I get my new setup, it's gonna be pretty legit. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope y'all enjoy it. And I hope y'all enjoyed this, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment, give your opinions, correct me if I'm wrong about a lot of stuff, which I'm sure I am. But just let me know how you thought of it, and follow me on Twitter. And I'll catch you next time.